Hey everyone, Lance Morgan here, and today I want to talk about getting free money for college using your expected family contribution number. Now I know everyone wants free money for college. I've talked to hundreds of families over the years, and everybody wants free money for college. And why wouldn't you? College is so expensive. I don't blame you. But so many families don't know where all the free money comes from. In fact, they get online, they start searching for all these private sector scholarships. They do a lot of researching. They fill out a lot of write a lot of essays and fill out all these applications to get these free scholarships. And the reality of it is less than 1% of the free money for college actually comes from private sector scholarships every year. So the majority of the money actually comes from the colleges themselves. Now the money from the colleges comes in the form of two types of free money, basically. Number one is your merit-based scholarships. Now that's what most people are familiar with. You may look into a school and know that if your student gets a certain GPA or a certain test score, or maybe they're in the top certain percentage of their class, they qualify for certain merit-based scholarships. And most families are familiar with these merit-based scholarships that are offered by the schools, but not all families are aware of the actual financial aid calculation that is used to calculate the financial aid that you might receive. In fact, for a lot of families, they receive more free money from the financial aid calculation than from the actual merit-based scholarship. So even if you have a brilliant student that is an exceptionally gifted student, a lot of times that will help them to get accepted, but the free money actually comes through the form of this merit or the need-based money through the CFC calculation. Now, the expected family contribution is a number that is calculated when you fill out the financial aid forms. So there's the FAFSA that you fill out in October of the senior year, and then a lot of your private schools are also going to require the CSS profile. So when you fill out both of those financial aid forms, it actually calculates two different EFC numbers, what we call a federal methodology number and an institutional methodology number. Now, a lot of families don't even know they have this number. Maybe you already have a student in college and you didn't even notice that they have an EFC number for you. But basically, it is the amount of money that they expect you to pay as a family. Now, the biggest misconception there is that if your expected family contribution number is, let's say, $10,000, some families think that's all they're going to have to pay for college. Not the case. What they do is they take the cost of attendance and subtract it from that EFC number, and that gives you your financial aid eligibility. And then different schools will meet a different percentage of that need, and a different percentage of the need in free money, and a different percentage of the need in work study or loans we call self-help aid that you have to work for or pay back. Okay, so what we're looking for is the actual free money. So let's say that the school is $50,000 a year and your EFC number is $25,000. That means you qualify $50,000 of the cost of attendance minus your EFC number of $25,000. You qualify for $25,000 in financial aid. Doesn't mean that's how much you're going to get, but that's how much you qualify for, and then each school will meet a different percentage of that need. Okay, so maybe you go to a top-tier private school. In fact, these Ivy League schools that don't even offer merit-based aid or merit-based scholarships. In other words, they expect your kid to be exceptionally gifted or they won't even accept you. But let's say you get accepted to a top-tier Ivy League school. Well, those schools are definitely going to look at what we call your EFC number to calculate the financial aid, and a lot of those schools are very generous with their financial aid. So they offer a lot of free money based on your EFC number. So let me give you some examples. I'm now going to share my screen here. And let's take a look at this report here. Now this report is one of the reports that we create for our VIP clients, and it is what we call an aid eligibility comparison report. And as you can see, we have 5 schools on this report. Texas State on the left, and Oklahoma, University of Tulsa, Furman, and Dartmouth. Now, this first section shows the cost of attendance. You've got your tuition, room and board, and everything. It all breaks down and gives you what we call a sticker price, or your cost of attendance. Now, a lot of families will look at that number and immediately assume that Texas State is the cheapest, Oklahoma State is the second cheapest, University of Tulsa, Furman, and then Dartmouth being the most expensive. And if you add a little inflation in there, then you're really talking about some pretty steep, sticker prices every year. However, the way the formula works for your financial aid, and by the way, even if you have a six-figure income, you should still run these numbers because you'd be surprised how many people actually qualify for aid that don't think that they qualify for aid. Now, here's how it works. Take that cost of attendance and subtract it from your EFC number. You'll see that there's two different EFC numbers here. There's a federal EFC number, and then some of those schools are looking at the institutional EFC number. So there are a couple different EFC numbers. And Texas State, for example, you would qualify for no free money because your EFC number is higher than your EFC number. EFC number is higher than the cost of attendance. Sorry. So over here, on the other hand, we have the cost of attendance of $78,000 subtracted from $36,000, which is the EFC number, is a need of $42,000. And Dartmouth meets 100% of the need, whereas Texas State, even if there were a need, they'd only meet 63% of that need. And they only meet 68% of the 63% in the gift aid. Now remember, the gift aid was what we were looking for. That's the free money. They might call that a scholarship. They might call it a grant. They might call it a tuition discount. They'll call it whatever they want to call it, but it's literally free money, just like a regular scholarship is free money. Then, like I said, there's also self-help aid. That's not as important. That is your work study and your loans, stuff like that. So if we look over here at Dartmouth, they are meeting 100% of the need. That means they're meeting $42,000 in need, and $40,000 of it in free money. 95% of that in free money. So that means that you could literally get a $40,000 discount, or call it a scholarship if you want, a $40,000 discount off the sticker price each year. Now, also, this EFC number is calculated each year. So you want to actually fill out the financial aid forms every year because it's going to look at your financial situation each year. Now, in my last video, I discussed a little bit more about how that's calculated, but you want to make sure that you're doing this every single year to get this money. So if you look down here, by the time it's all said and done, this is the final out-of-pocket cost, or the eventual cost for this family at each of those schools. Now remember, Dartmouth started out to be the most expensive, and now it is actually the second cheapest out of all those schools. And then, of course, you want to look at graduation rate numbers, because even though Texas State is cheaper, do you want to pay $26,000 for 5 or 6 years, or would you rather pay $38,000 for 4 years? So the average time to graduate from a public university nowadays is 6.5 years, and that's because they have lower graduation rate numbers, something to consider as well when we're trying to reduce the cost of college. Now, what about you families that have a really, really high income and lots of assets and everything that is going to, rule out the benefit of financial aid, or, you won't qualify for any financial aid? Maybe your EFC number is $90,000. If you have a $90,000 EFC number, then clearly you're not going to qualify for any financial aid. So you look down here at the aid without need, and some of these schools offer some of these merit-based scholarships. Now, just because your student is exceptionally gifted, don't assume that they're going to get this full ride scholarship. First of all, you've got to look at the school and how much money they give on average. You've also got to look at, of course, room and board, because even full ride tuition-based scholarships doesn't mean that they're going to cover your room and board. So you want to look at the merit-based scholarship as well, because sometimes that's more. Now, typically they're not going to give you both. They're going to give you either merit-based scholarships, or they're going to give you the need-based scholarships, but they're not going to give you both. And so you want to compare which one is the best. As you can see from Dartmouth, your Ivy League schools and your top-tier schools a lot of times do not give you merit-based money. They expect your students to be smart, or they don't even accept you. But if you can qualify for the financial aid, then you've got a really good chance of getting, like I said before, a $40,000 discount. But some schools, they cater to people with higher EFC numbers. And so even families with really high incomes and lots of assets, they can still qualify for merit-based money, and it's just a matter of finding schools that offer a lot of merit-based money. So the moral of the story, let me switch back here to my camera. All right, so moral of the story is that the free money comes from the colleges themselves. And so you want to position yourself to be able to maximize that free money. And that's ultimately how you get the free money for college. Now, in part 2 of this video, I will discuss how to reduce this EFC number. Because imagine if your EFC number is 25,000 and the school is 50,000, so you qualify for 25,000 in financial aid. What if you could lower that EFC number to 20,000 or even 15,000? Now that just increases the amount of financial aid you qualify for. So in part 2, we'll talk about how to reduce that EFC number and make sure that's as low as possible to maximize the free money. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos and you want to see more of these, click the like button, share this with your friends, and we'll keep giving you more. If you want more information on how to work with us as a company, oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself, but my name is Lance Morgan. I am the author of the Retirement Scholarship Strategy. You can pick this book up on Amazon in either the paperback or Kindle version. Or if you would like to be one of our VIP members and have us help you directly, you can go to collegefundingvip.com and become one of our VIP members, and we'll help you with a lot of this stuff. So once again, collegefundingvip.com if you want more information. And if you don't have my book, go out and grab my book, and keep watching for more videos, and we'll keep coming to you live. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.